We live. All right, what up, Facebook and Instagram and all that good jazz. And we live on this one. It's a little crooked. All right, guys, like and share this feed. What up, everybody? It's gonna be a good talk today. All right, we live on all of them. All right, what up, guys? Like and share this feed. My glasses, I think, a little shiny on here. What up, fam? Going live. What up, Natalie?
Hey, Natalie.
What up, fam? All right, going live. It's Boss Talk Wednesday? Yeah, it's a summer series. All right, fam. So we live right here, live right there, live right there, live over there too. Live everywhere, guys. All right, guys. Like and share this feed. Oh, just can you fix mine? Mine's is crooked. I'm sorry. Yeah, you the champ out here. Justin's a sound engineer in the back. All right, guys. Like and share this feed on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. We're talking about a good topic today. So this is the third session for the Boss Up Summer Series. Yeah, I'm really crooked now.
I got you.
And sounding, I don't know. I just started to get the job a little earlier.
You good.
All right, guys. As just fixing up, we're going to get started too because we still have other lives going on. All right, guys. Like and share this feed. We are talking about how to get to the money today. And so oftentimes with especially like our black-owned business, we're afraid of credit. We're afraid of looking up about the LLC portion because we want to be afraid of the government.
Right.
We don't get tracked down, and then we're so used to just doing things on our own that we don't get the help that we need to start business successfully because the whole Boss Up movement is about building opportunities strategically and successfully. Yeah. And I've known Terry and Halimah, these are my sisters at this point, for over 12 years. I think I've known you for 12. I've known you maybe about 20 at this point. Yeah, 20 years. So the beautiful part about what we do is I can tell you that it's proof that this is true and what they do. All right. So first, I want you guys to introduce yourselves. We'll start with Terry first. All right. Now Terry is going to give all the vocabulary and vernacular in the world to describe it. So get ready to get it. All right, edit this one here too, Justin, right here. This is Ricky, leave him over there. All right, so go ahead, Terry.
Hey everybody, my name is Terry. I'm not going to use all the verbiage right now. I'm just going to give you a little bit because if I give you too much, you might not know how to act or react. So
they go right to start already.
Born and raised in Jersey City, been in education 30 years. I started when I was 12. I have 20 years. I have over 20 years in grant writing. I have over 20 years in creative writing, assisting people with resumes, taxes, every walk of life when it pertains to running your business and even just being yourself. You must pay your taxes, you must build your credit, things of that nature. My passion is researching information that people are not have readily available to them and that you may be afraid of. So there's a lot of money out here right now. At the point, Biden in January 2022, he released $15.6 billion for small business grants and funding for minority-owned business and small-owned business. So that's just a little tidbit of what I can share. So I'm going to pass those to the next person.
And I will say too with Terry, Terry's always been a researcher. I met her when I met your sister first, but then I met you at high school in the guidance department. And one of the first things I remember is Terry had a big book of scholarships, the big blue book of scholarships. And it was so many scholarships in there. The thing I loved about it is she really helped us. She was a great resource. Terry, if you know anything, go to Terry. But the thing about it is that's the reason why, honestly, I left school with not a lot of debt because you had the plug to get the scholarships. Anyone came up, Terry had it for you. So this was so many students. If you were willing, because she can do everything for you, she was a great plug to help you give access. Because some people are in your life to give you access to funding and success, and that's what we're going to talk about more. But we're going to go to Halimah on this part right here. Just give us a little background part.
So my name is Halimah, and I'm going to be talking about business credit and crypto funding. So being able to fund your business with business credit and cryptocurrencies. So I've been investing in cryptocurrencies since 2018, And it's really been helping me. I recently got into just teaching people about this because it's a great resource that I think a lot of minorities don't know about.
Yeah.
A lot of people are scared of schemes and scams and all these people out there that are trying to get your money because it's a new way of thinking about things. A lot of times when there's a new way of thinking about things, when there's new currencies, when there's new ways of thinking about money, a lot of people get a little nervous. They get a little scared with being able to incorporate that in their life and especially their business. So a lot of times people have fantastic ideas, but they don't have the funding to be able to make those ideas become a reality. So money should be the least of your worries when you are looking to start a business because there, like as Terry said about the grants out there, there is so much funding out there, whether it be grants or loans or lines of credit and things like that. And then using the aspect of cryptocurrency just adds a whole another level to it. So I'm so excited to be able to get into this conversation.
Yeah, that's so cool because even to Halimah first told me about Bitcoin. And I didn't jump on right away. I think I waited like a year later. And then by then it was maybe like $8,000.
Yeah.
And then we started trading cryptocurrency together in 2020. Then it was at $20,000.
Yeah.
Within almost like 6 months to a year, it went up to
$63,000.
So the thing about it is, so if you would have at least put in, let's say $100, when it was, even at 8,000,
right,
or 4,000, even at 15,000, and of course, it went back down again too. But if you would have hit that first wave, it would have been a whole different level of a conversation.
Exactly.
It would have been a whole other type of trip going on right here.
Right.
So. But the thing about it is, it's just that sometimes we're so skeptical because we think about what our parents said about money, the grandparents said about money. Now they gave good principles about, go to school, get a good job, work your job, get your pension, and
save your money.
Save your money.
Save your money.
Save your money. And put it in banks where they trade your money anyway. So it's just that whole conversation. But then, once I learned, you can't show me. You can't, unshow me what I see.
Right.
And just seeing how cryptocurrency has grown over these 2 years I've been trading is just super dope, and it's just really elevated my thinking. Yeah. So the first question I want to ask is, why do you guys think people are afraid of getting funding?
In my opinion, again, it's the lack of opportunity for the information. Mm-hmm. And then I want to say, we as opposed to the people, we are afraid. We have been bogged down for so long that if someone hands you a hand up, you always think strings are attached. Mm-hmm. So, or you still have the bat in the barrel mentality. Mm-hmm. So, and even though myself, I do a lot of things from my heart. Josh, for a long time, he said, you just keep giving all this money away, and that's just who I am as a person. And I know my values, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, my heart says, somebody needs help, things of that nature. So when I give it away, people are still skeptical. Right. Still skeptical. I put a post up on Facebook and talked about what Biden was giving away in the $15.3 million, whether it be a small business, doing a TBA, doing a business, crickets.
Well, that's because he come back for that PPP. That's the investigation.
So I think a lot of it is the stuff mentality, so to speak. And as long as I go to work, pay my bills, put a couple of dollars in the bank, I'm gonna be okay. I don't want to go beyond. Like my girlfriend, Joanne, she had a business. She was thriving. I got her money. I said, let's open a second location. My husband told her, go do that. Wow. And guess what? She didn't do it. And she stopped.
We're gonna talk about that too. People we attach to. And giving false information about the influence.
Yeah. So what I think is that, I think that people are so used to getting it from us. I mean, guys out the mud. You know what I mean? Like, people always think that I did this all by myself. Like, they think if they take any type of assistance from a friend, a government agency, a business line of credit, a business, loan or anything like that, then that somehow doesn't validate what they're doing. Somehow takes away from how successful they're going to be or how independent they're going to be in that success. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of times we have to unlearn that idea that we did it by ourselves. One thing for sure, no one did anything by themselves.
That's true.
You didn't get here by yourself, and 9 times out of 10, you're not going to leave by yourself. So at the end of that mentality of work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard, instead of working smarter. So I think with all these resources being opened up to us, and like Terry said about things that you didn't know about, you know what I mean? Now that you're becoming aware of it, it's important that you take opportunities as they come. Because a lot of times people will let opportunity after opportunity after opportunity pass them by because it looks like there's strings attached to it. It looks too good to be true. Instead of doing their research and seeing what could possibly happen for me in that particular instance.
And that's so good. So I'm going to go with Terry. I'm going to go back to Halimah. It's good what you said about the crab in the barrel mentality, and even to how someone stopped the second location when the money was there.
That scarcity mindset.
The money was there, but you start looking at stuff like that, and I think the biggest part about that too is, and we talked about this on live today, with talked about does your actions line up with what you're believing to manifest. But a big part about believing, you have to get a circle that believes with you, because sometimes it is just you.
Yeah.
But then there's a season where you start being around other people who have like minds, because that becomes like your counsel. Like before I come talk about what I want to do, I'll call it Terry, I'll call it Halimah, because it's good to filtrate, what their thought process too. But I don't have anybody who's not on the same mindset as me, because it's harder to get growth in your life. So a lot of times too, when you do have an idea, when the plug is right here to get you the resources, it's not, you're not operating from a place of trying to get the money. You're operating from a place of I have the money already, and now I'm just so afraid because of what someone else said. Because it wasn't just him telling her no. It was, well, how you gonna do this? How you gonna do
and
that?
her believing it.
Yeah, and then now it's like the faith was there, and now it was like so bogged down by someone's shooting out all the answers to say why you can't do it. When it's just like, let me give you a reason why you should do it, or maybe like, wait, let's weigh out the pros and cons. And now someone stopped from being a part of a multi-million-dollar industry when it came to childcare.
Absolutely.
We're
going to continue to have babies. Education is going nowhere. And in addition to, and all children deserve a walk in life. And I'm going to say this, and it's not to offend anybody. All children at all levels, whether it be physical or an educational, quote-unquote, disability, it's always going to be there. So you're going to have somebody there to service them. I was just sharing with my cousin today, because my mother, Josh, she's a special ed educator over 30 years. My mother's been talking about special ed since I was 5. So I could stop boys when I was in high school. And I'm saying that today that I was telling my cousin, you have an organization. And I saw a line to $286,000 grant. I said, let me just write it. And then you can disseminate that information for a person with a disability to start that organization. Because early intervention is key.
That's very true.
And early intervention is key in education, in business, in every walk of life. So I believe that once you learn that someone has it and you intervene early, then you're fine. Like my girl from daycare center, I was intervening. And I said, this right here, let's go.
And that's a good point too, because majority of kids I ever had with culinary have ADHD or learning disability. But this is going to be the biggest field for them to thrive in.
Absolutely.
Because, they're hands-on, because usually if you have other issues mentally or physically, whatever it is, another part of your body is stronger.
Absolutely.
So they may be better at kinesthetic learning than they might be auditory. And now when you have a need, you're pointing out the need.
Yes.
And with this need, I'll get you the funding, but then we're afraid because of things because of our circle. And piggyback on what you were saying, Halimah, just talking about how, that muscle. And I agree with you, because when I started, I'm selling food out the house. I found a good way to say it. I should have said I had a ghost kitchen. That's the fancy one. I had a ghost kitchen. I had a ghost kitchen for about 27 years. But then the thing about it is, up until 2020, when I met Dr. Jewel and them, I realized that, hey, you don't have to work so hard physically to make money.
For sure.
I'm thinking, how many cakes can I sell? How many pieces of chicken can I sell? How much salmon can I sell? But now it's like, how many coaching packets can I sell that's already done? How many seeds I can sell that's already done? So I think as entrepreneurs, we're coming from a place of, I have to work so hard to get to the million. We're now so many millionaires. So they said that 8% of the country is millionaires, right? But then she did this analogy earlier, Natalie. But out of that 8%, it's 20 million people. So 4% of that are not self-made, but the other people are self-made. So out of that 20 million, 16 million millionaires are self-made, but then think about so many people that became millionaires in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
How many of that is virtual money?
Right.
Without it being such a hard, breaking your back if you're tired from lifting potatoes.
Right. Sure.
It gets tiring after a while, But I think too is because we always like to work so hard physically to do it, we lose out on virtual money.
Right.
Yeah, virtual money. You got to add on that?
Well, I agree with you in regards to the muscle because, as I stated, I started working when I was 12. So, and all I knew, and before I had my son, is I had to go to work.
Right.
I worked during the day, I did after school, I did Saturdays, I did weekends, I did
Summer
summer camp. I worked part-time at Sears, and all I could see was like, man, my bank account is growing. At the same time, when I started working in education, I met another woman who told me, you're home with your father. Start putting your money here. So I started putting in 403Bs and all that other stuff, money mutuals and stuff like that. I blessed him to start at 22, and then had a conversation with people who were older than me who didn't know about putting their money in. All they knew was about working overtime and their pension, overtime and their pension, overtime and their pension. And I was like, don't you have money in here and have money in here? And so I could be very honest in regards to looking at new things and wanting to test the waters. I've been reading about Bitcoin all over. And like people say, if you want to know something, I'll research it. I can tell you that's one place I don't have money.
Wow.
One place.
And we want to change that tonight.
We want to change that tonight. And why? I can't tell you because it's like, I like to double dutch and it's still like, I'm getting ready to get in, I'm getting ready to jump. But for some reason, it's like, So I know in that aspect, in the digital products, I'm saying to myself, oh, it's a whole new world.
Oh, yeah.
So a whole new world. I'll put the pen to the paper and show you some attitudes that you may not even know existed. At the same time, I'm saying to myself, okay. And that's what I appreciate. Again, while I'm only a certain age and we started at 12, we almost the same age. I appreciate the zeal of the youth.
Yeah.
I appreciate that young people, you all are not afraid. You're taking the chances. And like you're saying, people, the amount of millionaires that have been produced in the last 5 years, even since the pandemic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I say to myself, the creativity and the ability to jump without a life jacket, but know how to jump without a life jacket.
That's good.
That means a lot.
That's good.
And my hat is off. And one thing in regards to it, and I learned, is that while making all this money, we know we need the basics, life insurance, and things of that nature. And I just want to ask you all, have you even known about the IUL life insurance policy?
No.
And that you can borrow again.
Right. And then I get all my money in here, but when I retire, I'm going to stay on 37.5%.
Yeah.
So I was smart and got an IUL, took my money out, and put it in my baby's account.
Yeah.
Because other cultures start their babies the day they get a social security number.
Wow.
And
Yes,
if put $100 a month on a child at time is 18, and the amount of interest that they earn up to 15% of global interest, that's how some other cultures say they are able to give their children $1 million on 18.
Wow.
And that's a true generational wealth.
Yes.
When people talk about generational wealth, they're talking about passing down a business or passing down the $1 million that you spent all your life trying to save. And we're talking about right off the bat of a policy that you put your money in, giving that return.
Absolutely.
No work was done.
No.
It was the investment, because I think a lot of times what happens is when we talk about from the past to the present, there was a lot of work done with our bodies. You know what I mean? And our money was not working for us. And it's like, you have this money, you're going into overtime, as you were talking about. A lot of times people don't understand, the more overtime you do, the more taxes that are taken out. You know what I mean? So by the time you look at your check, you're like, what did I even do? You know what I mean? So being able to have your money work for you instead of you always having to work for your money.
Yeah, I remember the first time I got my check from that $100,000 job. I saw me taxes out there. I'm like, man, but it is, because you get excited talking about the number. I'm making six figures, but what does 6 figures really look like?
Right.
Even with that part too, and I think that's so good what you said about that part about preparing your kids younger, even to like adding your kids to your credit.
Right.
I'm about to add my mentees onto one of my cards because help them build their credit while they're younger. But it's such a reality that we don't talk about. Even in some Jewish cultures, they have a jar for each thing they're saving for that a kid knows to put that up. Now we taught the tithe, we taught that at church, you give you 10%, but then it's just like, what about the 90?
Right, exactly.
And it's like such a a form of just injustice that we do to people. Especially too when I think about teaching high school. It's just like, damn, like a lot of these kids just don't know. The parents don't know.
Yeah.
You got to think, you can't choose who you're born into. But the thing about it is, a lot of people who have these issues, they're born into families who have these issues, but that don't belong to the kid. So growing up, you have all these attachments about poverty. Thoughts of poverty don't belong to you.
Right.
Where you start hearing stuff, it's not one thing, it's another. You heard your parents say that, now you're adopting that to yourself, or I'm trying to rub 2 pennies to make $1. You hear all this stuff.
Or you hear things like money doesn't grow on trees.
Yes.
Yes.
You got McDonald's money? Have you used that one? Have you used that one?
I've never asked Justin to share with McDonald's. The unfortunate part, I hate to say it, he was like, "Ma, I want," and it's like, yeah.
Nah.
So, you're 23 now. So, but here's the headbang I can admit, because of the way he was raised and what he was afforded to, at 23 years old, I'm finding my way to redirect him.
Yeah.
Because at 23 years old and then being a young man, they want more and they think, oh, well, this more my before you use it to the streets.
Right.
But at the same time, I was telling you how to do X, Y, and Z. And even when Justin was born, I took $10 every pay period and saved. And I said, when he goes to college, his first year, he's going to have to work.
That's good.
So sure, it was in the savings account, it wasn't earning interest. So when he went, the first 2 years of college, he didn't have to work.
That's good.
So I was able to just put that money, and people like, $20, oh, that's no money.
Yeah.
But
People
$20
think that.
a month times 18 is a piece of change.
Yeah.
And he went locally, so it's like he needed thousands and $10,000s of dollars. So, and then like I said, I was afforded to. At the time, I opened up custodial accounts for him, and I told him, if people say when kids get 18 and 21, they give him something, he can't get nothing till he's 25. And one of them he can't get till he's 30. But I'm going to continue to explain to him why. Because, kids have the seed and they see multitude. And then they continue to multiply.
Yeah.
And social media and the social economic status of these Instagram
Yes.
hot people.
Yeah.
People are easily influenced no matter
And
how
half the time
straight
they've
and
written
narrow.
stuff. They've written the apparel, they've written the boats, they've written the jewelry, they've written
And they
some of the
stay
bags
in
are
the
fake.
private planes.
Yeah.
Private planes.
But you need to go quick because I think a lot of I don't have children yet, but I think a lot of
Show
times.
your ring then.
Yes,
Congratulations.
First bit of count everything.
But I think a lot of times what happened is that we have to bridge the gap. I think that our generation really has to bridge the gap of the scarcity that happened with the generation prior to us and the privilege that's now happening to the generation that's underneath us.
It's a big
It's
gap.
a big gap. Because I think a lot of times what happens is it's like we want better for our kids than what we have.
Absolutely.
But it's nothing wrong with that. I don't talk negatively about the get out the mud, get out the muscle as if there's something wrong with that. What I'm saying is that you've been there, you've done that, now what's next?
Yeah.
You don't have to stay in the mud. You don't have to stay getting out the mud if you've already been in the mud. You know what I mean? Like, so what's the next level? But then don't sit so far on a pedestal that you are looking down like I am owed this. I am deserving of this because my ancestors went through. You didn't go through anything.
Listen, you want reparations for something you ain't work for.
Hello.
And some people don't want to work a day in their life, but they think that they're owed something because they have this brilliant idea. But when are you going to take that brilliant idea and put the action to work? You have to still work, even if it's on your mental.
Yes.
Even if it's on your mental, you still have to put in the work. Because nobody is going to hand you anything.
You know what? Bridging the gap too. I think it's like this: bridging work with not from the seasoned generation to manifestation from the younger generation, and bridging the gap.
Yeah.
Because faith without works is dead. So a lot of times too is we know to work hard, but then our belief is wrong, or we know how to believe, but we don't know how to work to get it. And so when you don't put the two together, faith without works is dead. You wonder why you're not getting manifestation in your life because you ain't doing no work.
Right, for sure.
So you have to blend all of it together to really get out what you need done. But it's just like for me, like I realized that sometimes my manifestation, my faith is strong. Well, my work ethic is never off, so I can't even say that part. But sometimes it's just that I'm not scaling it
Yeah.
to be
But
more.
where are you working? That's the thing about it. Sometimes people work themselves into a ground.
Yeah.
And they will, we always, I think we share this alike that we're going to make a way out of it anyway. We're going to make a way out of it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we have so many skills and so many times.
Especially for a trip.
Listen, we'll make a way out of it anyway, but it's like, can we do that in a Or are you living paycheck to paycheck? Are you living gig to gig? Are you living client to client? But that's what I love about business credit.
Yeah.
Because you can use that as a buffer.
Yes.
A lot of times people are scared of business credit because they don't understand.
Yes.
They jack up their personal credit so much so that they're like, there's no way I can get approved for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
There are so many sources out there that you can apply for that they don't even need your social security number. It'll be irregardless because you, and we spoke about this at the Boss Up Actual Summit a few months ago when we had it live, and we spoke about you are different from your business.
Yes.
So I think what we need to do as entrepreneurs is stop going into business thinking that we're about to birth a baby.
Yeah.
Yes, put the labor.
Using that term.
Put the labor in it. Put the hard work and have the respect for that business as if it were a part of you. But you are different from your business. So when you are applying for business credit and business funding to begin with, yes, to get higher limits and to get different type of funding, you might need to use your social security number. But when you're first starting off, use your business entity as its own entity. Make sure that you are structured properly with your LLC. Make sure you are structured properly with your EIN. And your EIN, it's a free document. It's a free, you can go to irs.gov. I'm going to give you some resources for people that are out there listening. Go to irs.gov and you can get your EIN number tonight. And
let's
that's the first step.
Let's go to the practice. Let's go to the steps. So the first thing you have to do is register your business.
Right.
Find out how much it is in your state. So I know Jersey's 125. I think.
Well, before that, and I think this is what a lot of people don't talk about, and a lot of people that teach business don't talk about.
You showing that first minute?
You know what?
I'm not used to even having that. I'm so used to her, with her work hands.
Well, it was an anniversary, and I got my nails done. Beautiful. But anyway, before, this is what I tell people all the time. I tell my clients that you want to show up like a big business. A lot of people, I love small businesses. I love the pride that small businesses have. But those people that are extending large lines of credit want to see a business. They don't care how small or how large it is. They want to see how structured is your business. How are you showing up in the marketplace? How are you looking on paper? So before you even start with getting an LLC, before you even start with getting your EIN, you want to make sure that you have a toll-free business number. That's first. You want to make sure that you are looking like a big corporation with the 833, 844, 855. You can do that through different apps like Grasshopper, eVoice. You can go through these apps and they can go right to your phone, just like you have Facebook, just like you have Instagram. It may be $34.99, $34 a month, around about. And you're going to look like a big corporation. So when you're calling GoDaddy or when you're calling all these corporations, they have the 800 number because they are a real business. You know what I mean? They are showing up like big business. So you want to show up like big business. Secondly, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get a corporate address. So you don't want to use your home address for two major reasons. One, you want to show up like a large corporation. And then two, God forbid anything happens. Somebody can be right at your front door. They didn't like the way you did X, Y, and Z with your business. And they didn't like the way you talk to them in your business. You know, you have those clients that think that they're a Burger King and you think that they can have it their way. Everybody has those clients. So you don't want to put yourself, it's so dangerous out here nowadays. People are so crazy. And it's just like a flip of a switch that they feel as though they've been disrespected.
Just like the guy who just died at the McDonald's work. He got shot and killed.
Wasn't that horrific?
Crazy.
Now, my opinion, that woman weaponized her son. Because he already had a body in 2020. So she knew how he was going to react, in my opinion. So him and the girlfriend are now being held. I don't know how, shape, or form, and legality. That mother has to have some accountability too, in my opinion. So that's just like me going somewhere, being mad, and I already know my son, and we all know, no matter how old the child is, you know how they're going to react. And the fact that the girlfriend already, he came with the gun. The mother knows he traveled with a gun. You know your kid. So my thing is, even if they were cuckooing and giggling and stuff like that, how disrespectful could they have gotten that you needed to call somebody to beat them up and now make them respect?
And it's so sad, but that's what we're also talking about too, is our actions.
You have to separate yourself.
So
you definitely don't want to have your home address because people can definitely pull up on you. All you have to do is look up your business. It's all public information. Your business is public. So you definitely want to get a corporate address, and you can do that through. You want to make sure it's actually looking like when you Google the make sure it looks like a corporate building. You can DM me at Halimah on Purpose if you want to get some different addresses. But you want to make sure you have a corporate address, a corporate phone number, and a corporate email. So you get a corporate email from GoDaddy with your domain name. So if it's going to be Miss Cookies, you want to have info at misscookies.com. And you don't want to have like a Gmail, you don't want to have an Outlook or anything like that. You want to make sure it's professional. So you want to always make sure you're showing up professionally before you even get an EIN, before you even get an LLC, because all of that information is going to be on that paperwork. So to save you a step with having to correct it once you want to get funding, you definitely want to start off that way.
Because it's harder to correct it.
It's harder to correct it, to get the amendments and stuff like that. So you want to make sure your foundation, if you're building a house, the first thing you're going to do is you want to lay the foundation. So you want to make
And that
sure
takes the longest process.
Yes.
You know,
But
the house can be.
It's going to take you so much. You go higher, faster, if you're stronger at the bottom.
Yes.
And I think that's the things I didn't do because I didn't know any better.
Right.
You know, for the first, I think, 12 years of my business, I didn't have a registered business.
There's a lot of people like that. There's
Yeah, I
so
know.
many people.
Because I was in the ghost kitchen.
But the thing about it is, the crazy thing about it is people that have physical locations,
Yeah.
that have brick and mortar,
Yes.
and they are paying their rent from out of their own personal account.
Yeah.
They don't have a business bank account.
Yeah. And that's one of the easiest things. You can do it online in a matter of a couple of minutes.
Everything, a lot of things at the access of being entrepreneurs, being a ninja, and my hats off to both of you and the commitment. You know, sure, I'm from old school, and all I knew was to go get a paycheck.
Yeah.
And I've always had side hustles and side gigs. So at a point in my life where I'm saying, okay, maybe, no, not maybe, I can.
Yeah.
So, and I will do. And it's saying, like, when I research and been doing, I was like, myself, I remember before you were born, people had to have a document, a piece of paper, and it took them hours to open up a business account.
Wow.
It literally, you would be in the bank for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now the instantaneous and the accessibility and the convenience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that to me took away from even some people who may have a brick and mortar. They was like, I'm not going in this next bank next month.
Yeah.
But now you can do it in less than 60 minutes. Like you
Yeah.
say, you get your EIN number in 90 seconds.
Yeah,
So,
literally.
so an affordability, and that's one thing that I know some people who say they're going to have a business, you have, just like when I go to work, I have to use money. I have to put gas in my car.
Right.
I have to buy toothpaste and all that other stuff so I don't smell okay.
Spending money
I'm
to make
spending money to
money.
go to work. So that's
Exactly.
the same thing as entrepreneurs. Because I hear other young people, well, I don't want to do it. I said, but I'm not doing that either. But I still put out money to come here and sign this book at Jersey Public School.
Yeah.
So, they have to realize the same as when you become entrepreneurs as well.
Yeah. You have to invest in yourself and in your
Yes.
business. It takes money to make money.
Yes. And so we're going to finish talking about the business sector, then we're going to the nonprofit.
Okay.
So after they get your paperwork right with your number, your address, all information, and you go online, your state website to register your business, what are the next steps to getting the business credit? Because we went through it a little bit, we didn't,
Yeah.
we got to finish.
Right. So the next step you want to do is you want to sign up for Dun & Bradstreet. So that's a reporting agency, kind of similar to like on the personal side where you have like TransUnion, Equifax, and I forget what's on the personal side because I don't even use my personal credit anymore. I'm strictly on the business side. I am a business. You know what I mean? So everything I do is business related. I'm currently up in New Jersey right now on a business trip. So
Listen, everything
everything is a business
I give my
expense.
gas receipt.
Listen. Anyway, so you definitely want it's going to be DNB, so D as in David, N as in Nancy, B as in Bob.com. You want to go there and you want to sign up for your DUNS number, but you definitely want to make sure that you get your LLC and you get your EIN. Yeah, you get your EIN first, and then you want to establish your business reporting agency, your number there, and then you can start to get funding. So there's different tiers and there's different layers. So if any one of these lives, my name is Halimah, Halimah, on Purpose on Instagram. And if you DM me Boss Up, I'll give you the steps. I'll give you all the resources and all the links to be able to get started because there are tiers and there are different funding you have to do from different levels.
Yeah, and don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't be afraid because it takes a little bit of time to start off, but once you start off, you can grow from $0 to $100,000 in less than 90 days.
Yeah.
It's very possible. You can get vehicles in your business name. You can get property in your business name. You can get, and this is all without even having to have a high credit score or using your social security number. You can treat your business as its own entity because it is its own entity. So you definitely want to make sure that you are keeping a record of your things. You want to make sure that you're doing business, ethically. You want to make sure that you keep yourself, because it is your borrowing this money. And Terry's going to tell you how to get this money for free. You're borrowing this money, so you definitely want to make sure that you're keeping a hold of the things that you're doing in order to be able to pay back on time, to pay back early, just so you have good standings. But it's different than personal credit. So a lot of times what happens when people start with me, they have those notions of personal credit, and they bring that into the business world, and it's completely different.
Totally different.
Inquiries don't matter. It doesn't matter how many business credit lines that you apply for. It doesn't matter if you get denied for. Maybe you're not ready for that particular tier. Maybe your business isn't seasoned enough. Maybe it isn't structured properly.
Yeah.
So there's different ways in which you're going to go about the whole process of structuring your business and getting funding. But you definitely can do it. Any business is fundable. Any business is fundable. It doesn't matter if you have a small business, if you have a large corporation, because a lot of times people that have large corporations, they have a lot of employees. Their business is structured properly.
Yeah.
So they're not. The smaller corporation might be able to get more funding than the larger corporation.
Numbers aren't everything.
The numbers aren't everything. So don't be discouraged if you don't have a lot of employees. Don't be discouraged if you don't have a lot of income coming in. You definitely can project your numbers to what you see your business growing into. That's how corporations do it. They project their numbers. They project how many employees they're going to have. They project how
many. Fire them too. In this season, you will not be needed.
You will not be needed because a lot of these corporations are seeing where they can eliminate people. Because this is like what do they call this era? The Great Resignation or something like that.
I guess that's what I did all the time.
A lot of people are resigning. So if you do want to start your own business, feel free to do so, but definitely get with one of us to be able to see how to do that properly.
Yeah, and listen, keep that job. What Beyonce said?
Don't have Beyonce.
I just did my job.
But listen, the thing about it, I want to make more point before we get to Terry about your job. So I love.
You can't break my soul. I
I
just did my
am a
job.
full-time entrepreneur, but one of my biggest regrets in my business is quitting my job too early. I can honestly say that.
I felt that way about this last job. I should say it to the this weekend.
Well, what I do.
Don't ever hear me say that again.
No, I never thought I would hear you say
Because the thing about it is that your job can be a source of cash flow for your business. It takes money to make money. So if you are loaning your business, because you definitely want to make sure that you are protecting yourself when you are making money from an income source and using it for a business source.
Yeah.
You want to loan your business money. So if you're from your personal account, you want to write with a check a business loan to whatever your corporation is, because your corporation is different than you.
Yeah.
So you as a person are loaning to a corporation, and you definitely want to have that in writing so that when you go to pay that, that's now tax-free money.
Yeah.
I'm not a tax consultant. You definitely talk to your tax agency with that. But you are able to pay yourself back because you are loaning your business money. So don't just go ahead and just spend all your money.
Right.
There are some pass-through expenses that you don't have to do it in the way in which you can write a check. But you definitely want to talk to your tax care professional. But you can do things where you're loaning money to your business, and that can help your business grow.
I would say sell your personal card to your business. Business thing. Yeah, that's another thing too.
Your house?
Your house.
Because you gotta
Especially if you're working from home.
because you can only write up 100%. You can write in your name, you can write up to 70%, but with your business, you can write up to 100% of the expense. That's why it's best to put things in your business name. And remember, LLC, limited liability, company. So that's limited liabilities. So when they come back, you can come out that business, start a whole new one. But I'm not saying that. But even too, like
Donald Trump.
but that's the truth.
I had something in my throat. I'm sorry.
But you know how to play the system. Even too is like the reason why I wish
There's a loophole for everything.
Oh yeah, and the reason why I wish I didn't leave so early because honestly, even though it was a crazy environment, it was still 6,100 after taxes. A lot of taxes, thousands of taxes actually, which is crazy. I don't know how to get that off from but it would have been. Listen, I'm gonna get it back from it. I got something raised up for 2022 taxes. But the thing about it is, what I should have did was, I should have just leveraged it better for the summertime.
Yeah.
Because that was still March, April, May, June. That would have been That would have been at least almost $25,000 that I could have leveraged differently to really launch a lot of other products, you know. But you live and you learn.
Right,
Because
right.
I'm back to the muscle work again. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it smarter.
Leverage is an important word because you definitely want to leverage.
Yeah.
You want to leverage relationships. You want to leverage information.
Relationships all the time.
And you can leverage those jobs. Don't quit your job, people. I know everybody on Instagram is telling you to quit your job. I know everybody on TikTok is telling you to quit your job. I know even Beyonce is telling you to quit your job. Don't quit your job. If it's not, you know.
Especially you have a plan. Like for me, like I can, like for me, my business has always been my side hustle.
Exactly.
And my job, my business has been my main hustle because I've been doing it for 22 years.
Yes.
So a job has always been, especially after I left Lincoln. That was that when I had the courage. No, when I left the high the first one, when I left, because I loved working at Lincoln.
Yes.
You know, it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. You know, I won't say the names, but anyway. But the thing about it is, it really told me to really rely on my business. So a lot of people are quitting and have no source of income.
Exactly.
And that's the troublesome part. Like even two is like at least have different roof already. If you're gonna leave,
Exactly.
make it make sense.
Yeah.
You know, one of my friends think want to quit his job. I'm like, man, hold on.
And use that income
Yeah.
from Lyft and Uber
Yeah.
as cash flow because
Yes.
it's all about cash is not king. We've been mistaken, we've been tricked, and we've been tricked out of our spot. Cash flow is king.
Yeah.
Yes.
If your cash is not flowing, then
Ain't
it's
king.
not king.
It's
It's not Negro. It's a poor gesture. It's not the acting like all cool sitting there. If it's not flowing throughout your life and it's not able to have you make moves and have you make investments and get to the next level and scale your life and scale your business,
Yeah.
then what's the point of cash? Like
Yeah.
I said, right now I'm like the US dollar is like the least valuable thing to me right now.
Yeah.
Give me some Bitcoin, give me some Ethereum.
This is a growing asset.
Yeah, I'm invested in so many crypto mining projects. I'm like, give me one of those mining machines. Like the US dollar inflation is so crazy right now.
Yeah.
I don't even want money. Pay me some other way.
Because it's
Yeah.
growing. It's always growing.
Yeah.
You know.
What are your take on the NFTs?
So NFT, so NFT is a tricky space because it started off with a lot of to the public. It started off with a lot of these art projects.
Yeah.
So the NFTs were like $100,000, and they were really, really like unaffordable to the average everyday person. But when we went to the conference in New
That was
York,
crazy. Yeah.
it really helped me understand. I've been investing in cryptocurrencies for 5 years now, but I wasn't really getting the whole NFT space. I was like, wait, why would I don't even like art. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really an art person. You know what I mean? So I don't understand like what's this like weird
Like a monkey. Or
yeah, the right, exactly, all these different things. I didn't really understand what those projects meant. But as we went to the conference, they really talked about being able to have the identity. So blockchain, right? So we want to talk about Web 2. So Web 2 is like the internet.
Okay.
So before the internet existed, people were, I don't know what they were doing with it. Like, actually,
Encyclopedia.
I don't know what was happening before the internet. But books, telephone. We talked about MapQuest. I don't understand how we were
I'm reading directions.
typing a piece of paper
Yeah.
before we went somewhere. If you took a wrong turn, because I'm known for taking a wrong turn with Siri talking to me. So I don't understand how people were able to look at this piece of paper.
Yes.
My mom, when we used to take road trips every single summer when I was a
Peter,
kid,
Peter.
my mom would have the map.
Yeah.
My mom, her sense of direction is amazing. I think because of the map. My sense of direction is trash. I think because of Siri. But so she had the map. So the evolution of time is like this. So let's just use the map for an example. So we had the maps, right? So at first we had the maps and we had the I-95 is going to take us right. And then we had MapQuest. So when it went, that was Web 1. Let's call that Web 1. And then we had Web 2 where we had the internet. So we can type in the address, the starting address and the destination. And then Web 2 took us to print out a piece of paper and now we can see it on, see it on paper, whatever.
Like the Garmin's,
Right.
Tom-Toms.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So now we're going to take it to the next level, which is what we're going to call this Web 3. So with Web 3 now we have Siri, so we can go ahead and we can ask where the destination is. We can turn right, turn directions. We want to stop at Dunkin' Donuts on the way. We can add stop.
Yeah. All this stuff.
We can do all of these things. We want to add, go to Jamba Juice to get a smoothie. We can definitely do that. So that's the evolution of money. So we first started off with gold.
Yeah.
So I do crypto mining. So back in the day when the US dollar was backed by gold, there was actual gold that was mined, and then the US dollar, there was a promissory note for that gold that we actually had, right? In the 1970s, that all went away and now became a debt. It became a bill, and we owe China like $3 trillion. You know what I mean? So with crypto mining, now all the something of like reality. You know what I mean? So it has to have some type of backing. But now it's through the computer. Instead of there being a physical mind, there's a digital mind. You know what I mean? So with the NFTs, that space, instead of it being a physical ticket, it's going to be a digital ticket. And it's going to be on a blockchain where I say, I have ownership of this. I have an address, I have a wallet that this particular product is going to, and it's not the physical wallet, it's going to be the digital wallet. So I can go ahead and I can type up my wallet information on Etherscan to see what transaction happened, where, when, and why. So somebody can't say that they own this particular movie ticket, or sporting goods ticket, or this particular art piece. No one can say that they own Mona Lisa, but the person that owns Mona Lisa, you know what I mean? Like, so if I put a artwork of Mona Lisa in here, and I try to charge people to come as this is a museum, they're like, this is not the real Mona Lisa, you know what I mean? So being able to have those digital assets, credibility. So what people are buying is they're buying the authentic property of that particular piece. So that's true ownership. And so I was talking to Josh about this, and I was just like, a lot of times what happens is people don't know about things until it's mandatory to know about it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So when a lot of things didn't really happen before my time as far as what we are accustomed to now. But let's think about it like dial-up internet, right? Mm-hmm. So before you couldn't use the phone and be on the internet at the same exact time. Now people don't even have phone lines in their house.
Yeah.
They don't even have phone lines. People don't even know, like, my nephew saw I can't even think of VHS.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And so he said, is that a radio?
Oh.
I said, a radio? They don't even understand rewinding a tape, you know what I mean? So it's going to come a time where we don't even understand what paper got. Not to saying that cash is going to go away, but it's going to be a point in time that it's not going to, I don't carry cash right now.
Right.
I only carry cards. My sister doesn't even carry cards. She only has her Apple Pay on the phone.
Right.
So it's like it's going to evolve and it's going to evolve, and then it's going to be.
When people say cash only, I'm like, what are you talking about?
But I have a funny thing for you. I told you my best friend, and he was at work. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm writing down checks to pay my bill. I said, I'm dead.
Right, how? Like, we're already accepting checks.
What do you mean? He said, I said, do you still order checks? He said, yeah, I order checks. I said, why?
Yeah.
I said, you can do electronic. You can do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
He said, no. And he wrote out 5 checks for his car, for his gas, internet, and he even takes the jet to the Verizon store
and pay the bill.
And then I said, well, what's the matter?
Sorry, what's going on? All right, I accept it.
And he's a little younger than me, and I'm saying, what's wrong?
Why can't you?
Mindset.
Yeah,
And he kept saying, he said, I pay some stuff electronically with my credit card, and this is the one who got who got all these Zells and all the others. I said, why do you have all these apps if you don't use them?
Yeah.
He said, it's just certain things I have to pay with a check.
Yeah.
And then he
has
has
they're stuck in there.
right, and even one of his part-time jobs, they write him out this is the check every week after the at the end of the work week.
Yeah.
I said, why? But mind you, the owner of the company that he works for is 93, but he's not taking. But wait, but 93-year-old not taking care of the day. His son-in-law. They were like 30-something years old.
Yeah.
Nobody's time for that. And now switching gears to the nonprofit sector.
Let me just say one more thing before we end up. I just want to talk about a new project that's about to come out, and it's going to be a debit card. So it's going to be a debit card that you can load up with your cryptocurrency as if you were loading up money, as if you were putting on money on Cash App. And it's going to switch Bitcoin to Ethereum to USD to everything instantly, simultaneously.
You know, that's that transition. You trying to pull money out, we got to switch to here to
there's so many
Ripple,
transactions to be able to get cash right now. But there's a project that I'm currently mining, and I'll be talking more about it on our platform. But there are so many resources that are coming out, and it's going to be so phenomenal because it's going to take out the stress and the worry of how am I going to get this particular currency that I'm not used to using into the USD that I'm used to using that they accept at the store. You know what I mean? So Visa preloaded Visa card is going to be able to take Bitcoin, Ethereum, and turn it into USD instantly on the back end, and you don't have to worry about it. And you're also going to be getting rewards for this. So it's a current mining project that's not out to the market right now. But if you follow me, Halimah on Purpose, and you'll be seeing more information about that coming up.
Now, the ironic of interchanging, and I know people who have Ethereum and Bitcoin, imagine how thing about, we have to remember, no matter how old you are, what walk of life, the brain is powerful. And what comes out of your mouth connects right here.
For sure, for
And
sure.
because it is in here and here, the brain is powerful. It's got to turn on a couple of times a day.
Right.
And it's okay to at your own pace.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
sometimes you try to be like other people, and it's just like,
Right.
go at your own pace,
Right.
but still try to be an early adopter.
Right.
At least
Be
try.
open. Yeah, be open.
And I tell people, at least put $5 a week in there.
That's what you want to do today. You want to
Okay,
get you just started with the big one today.
It's talking about an idea. When I first started dating my husband, I remember in 1994, I made him love me. And I would put these things, certain things, he can exchange it.
Yeah.
So then you
Well,
find
that was a
some great
currency.
guys.
So wait,
That was a
currency.
Yeah.
So my mother said, "Oh, where you thinking that?" So I was making it for some friends just because. And then about 98, 99, somebody puts a patent and it's all in the stores, making love coupon. I said that's it.
That was my
like
idea
8,
right
9 years
exactly.
ago. And
Yeah.
that's what it's talking about when you have to jump on the idea.
Yeah.
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 Have to jump on. And if I would have pushed it through, what fruition? What did I lose?
Yeah.
Because I was already giving it away.
Yeah.
Because that idea came from God. And what I know about God is that God is going to make it happen regardless if it's going to you. If God wants something to happen, it's going to get done.
Yeah.
Yes.
And regardless if it's going to be you or if that's going to be your vehicle or not, but it's going to get done. So if you have the idea, definitely get started, especially with your business. And you're going to go and talk about, how you get some other type of funding.
Yeah, definitely. So going into nonprofits, this is her area of expertise. So what's the first thing you should do when you're setting up a nonprofit?
Well, in regards to the nonprofit, you want to create your charter, you want to get your board members, and you want to get somebody who can do it. I'm not the person who can do it. I can find the money for you, but I can't set it up for it. And the basic bulk of it is there are two types of nonprofits. You can have the short form and the long form. The short form is you can only get up to $50,000 per grant, but you can apply for $50,000 grant. The long form is you can get up to $1 billion if it's $1 billion grant. But the important thing is your bylaws, your board of trustees, and your purpose. What are you servicing? Who are you servicing? It's the same thing in regards to your business. You have to know your market. Some people set up nonprofits and they say, "Oh, I want a nonprofit because I want to do this and I want to do that." But you want to feed people, but I see you out here taking a bunch of kids to stadium, which is an admirable thing. But you said you wanted to feed people.
Yeah.
So I can't find you something to feed people when I give you the funds or find you a sponsor, and you saying, "Oh, I thought you could write me a grant for my nonprofit." Well, you said you want to feed people, so I can't get you any states.
Yeah.
I can get you.
I get you some food.
I get you some food. I get people to donate it.
Yeah.
So, and then you need to find a reputable grant writer in regards to whether it be business funding or nonprofit funding. A legitimate grant writer does not get money up front. You don't pay anybody.
That's good to know, yeah.
You know, someone say, "Oh, you can sit down with me and have a consultation fee of $100." Some people may say they have a consultation fee. $100 is too much money. You're not, and it's not selling yourself short. You can say, "I have a consultation fee. I can sit down with you for an hour or 2 hours, $25 or $50." However, the grant writer does not get paid until the grant is won.
That's good to know.
Won. And most legitimate grant writers are only going to take 3.5% to 7.5% of the grant. Somebody might be, "That's not a lot of money," but if you're consistently writing grants, you're getting your money. And you, like I said, you can sit down and give somebody a phone. So because everybody's time is worth something, and you want to make sure whoever's coming to you is serious. Because some people come and you give them everything, and you don't ever see them again.
That's true.
And then they'll say, "Oh, but I sat with you and I tried this." No, you tried it, but you didn't sit with me and you didn't give me your plan so I can help you. So in addition to when you're looking for a grant, whether it's for nonprofit or business, and you see it on a website like Coca-Cola, whether it be the federal government, Apple, anybody, you can always request a copy of past winning grants. And it's in the same market that you're servicing, even if it's in a market that you may project to serve. You can look at the past winning grants, because now you know the format,
That's good.
explicitly what the organization and your company is looking for. And then there's also money out here from, and like they say, like millionaires and all that other stuff. He's a quirky guy. He has his book. He's Caucasian. He has glasses on. He always say government free money. I forgot his name. He has a book out. Matthew Lester. I don't know if anybody ever heard of Matthew Lesko. Matthew Lesko. I met him in a book when I was 19 years old. That's how long I've been reading. And Matthew was still around. Now he was a little older even when I was 19. And I continued.
Strong.
Yes. And I continue to write and write and write. I won my, and I don't know, I'm going to say I wrote my first application and scholarship for my sister when she went to college. And I told my mother, I'm just going to write this. And she said, well, how do you know what to do? Well, how do I don't know what to do? So I just wrote it. And it's just something small.
That's good.
How I didn't know what to do. I said, you know, and Gary got $500. And here's the thing. I love you, Darian. She got it under the American Disabilities Act. And she a nice curvy girl. American Disabilities. Yeah. Under the American Disabilities Act.
I'm going to use it.
American Disabilities Act. The American Disability Act it covers a multitude of things. So that I'm currently working with a friend of mine. I'm determined. I have a young lady who's a senior in high school, 9th grade, and 11th grade. Of the three of them, they're all going to get over $250,000 scholarship. Wow. The first one, I want her to be from Jersey City, Dickinson High School, class of 2023, and she's going to go to college on a scholarship, plus the additional funding. And I'm already saying that she's going to have over $500,000 scholarship. Yes. When she finished, all her change is going to her.
Yes.
Just like we see across the United States. And I love my city, and I love New Jersey. But Jersey City, we can already have 3 people, and it's going to have my name next to it, Teresa Jones. So, if you need me, and if you want some information, and you're truly, truly serious, it's my passion. And again, if you're serious, I'm an open person. I'm a kind person. At this point in my life, my time is very, very valuable. I want to give it to you as long as you're serious. Hit up for us up, and I will share you all my information.
At a fee.
At a fee. It's an application fee.
This is the early time.
Yeah. Yes, because Jersey City Public Schools have a lot of my time, and mama is ready to go.
But I think that's the part about it is too, is just like, I think as we get older, we find ways to work smarter and harder.
Yes.
You know, we're not going to do the same thing we did yesterday. We've gone from yesterday, last month, last year, and that's just the dope part about all of it, where the reason why we come together with platforms like this is to learn and go together.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's not that, you know, you can't do certain things. It's who do you have in your circle promoting you to certain things. Yeah. You know, for example, it's too, like, I was looking at Kendrick Lamar yesterday concert, and he didn't start with having a sold out arena.
Right, that's true.
He didn't start there. You know, I think a lot of times Beyonce didn't start at sold out arenas.
Right.
You know, so when you think about stuff like this, you think about you have to start somewhere. And it's not about how fast you go. It's not about how slow you go. It's like you have to start.
Yeah.
And the key part about it is reach out to people who know what they're talking about. And of course, vet them out first. But just start. You know, and the sooner you take the initiative to start, the more opportunities you have to grow. Like, I would never thought that for making my first cake, I would end up traveling, you know, literally to cook. I'll be dragging Halimah along. All right, come on, get your bag. We're going to put this in your,
here too,
you know. Yeah, but you know, and the thing about it is we had so many opportunities that were so dope, not always paid. Yeah. But sometimes the payment was the knowledge that we learned.
And also, not only the
relationship is really good.
And not only the knowledge and the relationship, sometimes you have to change your environment.
Yeah.
A lot of times, people are used to seeing the everyday thing.
Yeah.
Now, whatever type of environment you're in, everybody's in different environments, but if you keep seeing the same exact thing, it doesn't matter if it's a good environment or a bad environment. If it's the same environment, you become numb to even great environments. You know what I mean? So being able to change your environment is very, very important. That's why I love what we're about to do with doing resorts and doing, with ball stuff and doing like conferences where we're going to be going into different atmospheres because we love to travel to see the different atmosphere. My favorite place in the world is on the airplane. Yeah. I call it crowd surfing.
It's a clarity you get.
I bring my notebook if I'm not tired. If I'm not tired, I'm just writing down ideas because it's there's a different view every second as you're down. You don't know what it is exactly. You know what I mean? You don't know if it's a house, you don't know if it's a factory or whatever the case
It's
may be.
brown.
But it is a different point of view.
Yeah.
It's a different point of view, and there's different clouds, there's different shapes, there's different everything up in the sky. So definitely being able to get out your comfort zone, to be able to connect with different people. And if you have an idea, don't let anybody shoot that down.
Yeah.
If you don't have the money, if you don't have the resources, there is money and there are resources out there for
Money is never the issue.
No.
Money is the least of your worries
Yeah.
when it comes to opening a business, to sustaining a business.
Yeah.
Yes, it's important. I'm not going to say it's not important.
Right.
Is it everything? No. Is it available? Yes.
And I think the biggest part about it too is my mentor Dr. Station says you don't have a money shortage, you have an idea shortage.
I like that.
Because the thing about it too is just like, and that's why I love traveling, or just even if you can't travel, find a place to create your peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because once you have peace, now you can allow those thoughts to come naturally to you. You know, most times I have the best ideas when I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Why I had to leave my job, you know, of course, because it was too much. I would have the kids. I had 100 son kids,
Yes.
then I had my
Yes.
business, so it was just too much for me to really focus. And because I wasn't even focused, I'm tired over time. I never have clarity. I never know. I'm always in and out of my purpose. I'm always taking other people's responsibility and making it mine. Like half the time, you got your parents, some of these kids, and you're their second parent, and that's cool and nice to be there for them. But don't lose sight of what you're supposed to be doing.
No, you're right. You're right. And you're right about being taking on. Every year I say I'm not going to take on any more kids.
And they just
And I love kids. And I'm determined this year to keep this way. While I'm not going to ignore anybody know anything, need anything, I will give it to them. I'm at the point where I'm at the other juncture of jumpstarting the other side of my life.
Yeah.
And then in addition to keep riding that wave. And then, you know, I give so much, and I admit it. Like, wait a minute, I got a son. Get over here.
Yeah.
And then I got to tap back in.
Yeah.
Because you come so self-involved. And then, you, like you say, you're taking on so many other things.
Yeah.
So my thing is now, it's Terry and Justin, not being selfish.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping Terry and Justin me making sure he riding away, and me going on to another purpose of assisting people to assist them to get to their other side.
Yeah. And it's less involvement.
Yes,
But how they
absolutely.
think, because education
Absolutely.
is,
Woo-hoo.
listen, the fee
It
is
took
not
me 30 years to get a decent salary. That's a long time.
Yeah. I did have a question about the grant writing. So when someone writes a grant, do they write in their percentage in the grant itself, and do they get that when it's awarded as far as off the top?
Good question.
Yes. So when the grant is all culminated in the contract with the organization and or business, everyone signs that, okay, I'm writing a $100,000 grant. So the grant writer say, over $100,000 grant, my fee is 7.5% of that. So in the grant verbiage, I have to say my administrative fees for my grant writer as well.
Okay.
So minus that part, so then you know all the other part.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a good question.
So
Absolutely.
that's really good. Because I think a lot of times people see these grants, and social media is a beautiful thing, but sometimes it can get overwhelming.
Yes.
Because they're like, ding, 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 ding. And it's all these grants, and
Yes.
it's like, how do I go about, applying for this?
It's
How do
overwhelming.
I go about getting this money? Because there are a lot of resources out there. People are selling grant lists, of grants and stuff like that.
Don't buy it,
Yeah.
please.
And the thing about it too
And
is
I don't
like,
mean to cut you off. In regards to grants and even me assisting and offering my services, if there's something that you're looking for specifically, go into Google and write that question specifically and precise. 100,000 things are gonna come up for sure, even maybe a million. It's up to you to click and read, click and read, click and read.
but that's the people don't like to read.
But people don't like to click and read. I click and read for you.
Right.
But, you can click and read at the page. But don't pay anybody for a list of grants. Don't pay anybody for a workshop for grants.
Except they Google
Yeah.
No, because they Googled it, because we know digital products are being reproduced.
Right.
They are selling.
Because they go buy that.
They
They
get
go
the
buy that
PLR
and
rights,
right.
and then switch it around, and then I call they keep buying the same template over and over and just maneuvering it.
Yeah.
So, Google is out here, the internet is a wonderful thing. It's also a dangerous thing, and also it can be your best friend. It's just that you have to take the time to read. And if that's not your niche, hit me up, boys. And I'll research anything. I'll research if you want to know how to sell big toes. If you want to make some money, you want to save a picture of a big toe, there's a lot of strange thing to
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
But I think that's the good thing about it too is because, and you got to think too is the reason why it's ranked today because most people don't apply.
They don't apply.
Because even
It's
too
just
like
the money is
oh,
just
yeah.
yeah.
Even too like I didn't apply for the PPP, but then next you know all my friends from the SBA was like, Jay, why didn't you apply?
Exactly.
And even like, I was the last group out of her last group to get 10,000.
Okay.
And it was just like it was able to fund certain things from the SBA, and I'm like, I was not at first, but then next you know, God will send somebody inside the place that worked there.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about because that aquarium on MLK Drive in Jersey City was able to get well, that's according to the PPP list. It's an aquarium MLK Drive. They go like $100,000 in PPP loan, but you know they're going to clean. But the fact that they were funded.
Yeah.
So here you are working
Yeah.
and have a business for over half your life. You're supposed to be a first in line. He was supposed to be a first in line. You know. So,
And don't be afraid too, because I think a lot of times people see that people are going to jail for certain things, and they're scared to even apply.
Yeah.
Get with the expert. Get with somebody that can help you execute. Because I think a lot of times, even with business credit, I find a lot of times people don't do what they're supposed to do, or they don't go further than what they could go. It's because they're afraid, and they don't know where they can execute in certain things. And it's like you need to definitely do your research, but if you do need help executing, definitely get in contact with one of us because you're not in this alone. Even though you may be the only person that you know that's doing a business, you may be the only person in your friend circle that's wanting to open up a business or start a business or something like that. But it's for you to be able to tap into the resources that you have available. Money is not everything, but it is. You do like your time is valuable. You have to respect people's time, so you do have to sometimes pay a fee to be able to have access to certain people. But that's going to help you execute. Because my mentor Nehemiah Davis always says, where there is no transaction, meaning money, time, whatever the case may be, there is no transformation. So you're not going to be able to transform your life if there's no transaction that takes place.
And that's true. So we can wrap this up to get ready to wrap this up. I talk fast. Sorry about that. It sounds like you're hungry.
I smell the food.
Listen. Yes.
We get some
Part two.
But also, too, guys, I'm running a 32% special. Well, two things. I'm running a 32% special because it was my birthday. August is turning 32.
I'm celebrating all month.
All month long. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a 32% special on all of my products, like my salad dressing seasons. But I do have the Boss Up Coaching Academy started. We have a few different items you can buy. We have the social media branding and marketing kit. That one's on live on my website. I also have, you can do an hour coaching with me. That's on my website. I also have my first e-course that I dropped last week. Yeah, so it's gonna be cool. It's 3 steps to discovering and prospering in your purpose. Because what happened is when you start thinking about getting funding, knowing the purpose is the first thing that's so important about your business.
Yeah.
Knowing how to tap into your gifts to create purpose and create profit is always going to be an addition to things like this. But you got to know your purpose first. You got to get clarity. Once you get that, and you get smooth sail. And then also too is the next Boss Up big event is going to be October 21st to the 23rd. It's going to be real fun. We're planning out some really fun activities. Of course, our day of coaching, which is super impactful. The room is dope. I cried, somebody else cried. It was just, but it was something so impactful. And then we're also planning Boss Up, working on the plays between Cabo and Jamaica, but we'll have that, I think, MLK weekend. So that's gonna be, listen, it's time to level up, man. Y'all can say Jersey, y'all want to.
And don't be afraid to come by yourself too. I think a lot of times what happens is it's like if you can't get your friend to come with you, you don't go. You know what I mean? It's fine. We can be on the friends. That's fine. You can definitely come and you can meet new people, like-minded people. So definitely get in the room and meet people along the way of your journey.
All right, so recapping, you can go to the link in my bio, but also connect with these two. Halimah on Purpose is going to talk to you about the business credit and the crypto mining. You want to get in part, and Teresa going to work with funding through the nonprofit sector. And and then I'm talking about purpose. I do a purpose, how to turn your gifts into profit by identifying the purpose of each situation. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and share this video. We're about to get out and eat. So
thank you for
all right.
Thank you
you ever want to buy that crypto?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
right.
always. Oh, don't do it right
My
now.
son, too.
Right.
I'm excited.
Right.
I learned something.
You can start on Cash App people. Hit me up later.